Hello, everyone. Good afternoon.
Hello. Deb, I get to see you 3 times today.
I was getting ready to say we're just in meetings all day today with each other.
Fair warning, I may have to jump away for a minute. I'm at my house today. It's 3 degrees here in Beckley, and our heat pump went out.
Oh,
So I got folks down there looking at it now. I may have to step away for just a second. So
okay.
if I do, you know why.
Understandable. It's supposed to be colder tomorrow, tonight and tomorrow.
I
So,
was shocked I could find somebody to come out here.
well,
It's
hopefully they
about
get it fixed.
56 degrees. It's about 56 in my house right now.
Oh my.
So I'm not smoking. It's just my breath.
It's good to know. Carol, Cindy, Rich, how are you all?
Doing well, Deb. How are you?
Pretty good.
Doing good,
Staying
Deb.
warm, I hope. It sounds like there's others that are a little on the cold side. So sorry to hear about that.
Yeah, I have a big 6 burner range in my kitchen, and I've got all 6 burners with pots of boiling water on them.
Mm-hmm. That's old school heat right there. Hard
yes,
times.
it is. Been there.
Yep, me too. We'll wait just another minute to see who else is able to join us today. We are going to record this. Just a heads up, we will be recording so that we can send out to folks that are unable to join us. And I think Matthew mentioned we were going to post these meetings on our YouTube channel so that they're available to go back and view for anyone that might want to do that. Okay, we'll go ahead and get started. That way we can be mindful of everyone's time today. Welcome everyone to the quarterly partner meeting for Jobs in Hope, West Virginia. This is an opportunity for all partners to meet together to just share about how your continued partnership has been successful in contributing to the overall program success statewide. Is there anyone that's joining us for the first time that would like to introduce yourself and maybe tell us what organization you're representing?
Yes, hi, my name's Drew Galang, and I am in Governor Morrissey's office.
Drew, welcome. Thank you for joining us today. Michael?
Which one, me?
Michael Crown had his hand raised. Michael, I can't hear you. I'll skip you for now. Carol?
Hi, Carol Ramke. I'm with Bridge Valley Community and Technical College. I work with the TANF students.
Thank
primarily.
you, Carol. Thank you for joining us.
Nice to see you again.
You as well. Nick?
Thanks, Deb. I'm Nick Stuchel. I'm the interim commissioner of the Bureau for Behavioral Health. I'm also the general counsel for the Bureau and also for the Office of Drug Control Policy.
Thank you, Nick, and thanks for joining us today. Anyone else? Andrew?
All right, you can call me Andy. My
Andy?
name is Andy Richardson. I'm the Executive Director for Region 3 Workforce Development Board. I believe I have joined before, but it is sufficiently irregular that I thought it would be appropriate for me to reintroduce myself. And I look forward to continuing the very strong and essential partnership we share with Jobs and Hope. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy, and thank you for joining us today. Mike Pushkin?
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Michael Crown, we
Yeah.
can hear you now.
Fantastic. Sorry about that. We Google and Teams does not play very nicely when you. My name is Michael Crown. I am the Director of Workforce Development for the State Agency Workforce West Virginia. Pleasure to be here. Usually you probably see my counterpart or our Unit Secretary, Amanda. So thank
you, Michael. Michael Pushkin?
Hi, Deb. Thanks. Yeah, I have the same issue with, I'm still have to familiarize myself with Teams as well when we're on here. So, but I appreciate the invitation to be on. I've been on before, but I'm not on here regularly. But Mike Pushkin, I'm a member of the West Virginia House of Delegates that represent District 54 here in Kanawha County.
Thank you so much for your time today. We appreciate you joining. Am I missing anyone that would like to introduce yourself to the group? Okay, let's jump right into the agenda. Most of you all know my name is Deb Harris. I'm the manager for the Jobs and Hope West Virginia program. And as I mentioned, since the beginning, Jobs and Hope has had state agencies, community organizations, and many other stakeholders come to the table on a regular basis to contribute to the overall program success. So again, thank you for your commitment to that. Collaboration really is the key to our success. I want to go ahead and mention, since we are at the beginning of legislative session here shortly, that if you all want us to come and speak or present at any programs, trainings, committee meetings, anything like that, we are more than happy to do that and come provide an overview of the program and a brief report on all things Jobs and Hope West Virginia. You can contact our strategic relations agent, Matthew Holstein, and he will set that up. Also, if you or anyone that you know would like to be added to our email list, please send that information to Matthew as well. All right, let's move on to some updates on our team and some program progress notes. Some recent updates: Laura Jones McGuire has transitioned into the Assistant Director for the Office of Drug Control Policy. While we are sad that she is leaving us, we are very excited for her and this new opportunity, and we are excited that we can continue collaborating with her in a new role. So we want to just thank Laura for her years of dedication and service to her participants and to the Jobs and Hope West Virginia program, and we wish her all the luck in the world in her new role. So along with that, we have some new hires that we're adding to that Region 3 Kanawha County team. Brittany Patterson was previously in an internship with us from 2023 to 2024, so she already has some program knowledge about Jobs and Hope, our case management system, and what we do to help participants statewide. She is leaving her role at Prestera and coming back to Jobs and Hope, and will be starting with us on January 27th. In addition to that, we are adding Patsy DeCesar, who is a past program participant, and he was so successful in his roles at West Virginia Sober Living and RCCR in the housing sector. When he learned about the vacancy in Region 3, he applied, and we are so pleased to hire a program graduate into that role in Region 3. He will be a great asset to our Jobs and Hope team, and we're excited for him to start with Brittany on the 27th as well. So I want to introduce you to one of our Region 2 transition agents and give him a couple of minutes to talk about his role in the Region 2 serving Boone, Cabell, Lincoln, Logan, Mingo, and Wayne County area. Michael has been with us for about 5 years now, I believe. Was one of maybe the original round of hirings for the Jobs and Hope Transition Agent position statewide. So we wanted to bring a team member on to just talk about their experience and share some news about that region in the state. Michael?
Thank you, Deb, and thanks for having me. And also thank you for naming off the counties that I serve, because that is harder than it looks to memorize those counties. Yeah, when Deb asked me to speak, one of the things she asked me to do was share a recent success story. And when we're asked that, I always, try to think of something that's just going to wow the audience. But sometimes the best ideas are sent to you rather than having to go look for them. And so what I want to mention right now is a conversation that I had this morning with one of my best participants. She's a recent Marshall graduate in social work, and she is taking the plunge to graduate school. She got everything submitted and all that stuff. She texted me this morning. She said, "My nerves are tore up," which I can relate to that. And one of the best things about being a transition agent is just getting to be a cheerleader and the voice of reason and provide confidence for these participants. Because as somebody in long-term recovery, there was a time where my nerves were tore up. I was the one praying that I got accepted into Marshall. And she made the comment that has really stuck with me all day. She said, "I'll never understand why you believe in me." And my answer was, because if I don't, who will? And sometimes as transition agents, we're the only voice that these participants have that is positive. Their whole life has been just negativity and people telling them that, they're not going to accomplish much and all that stuff. So I have had the pleasure of following this young lady. From the time I started working with her, she had no higher education. So we now have a bachelor's. We're going to get accepted into grad school at Marshall. She doesn't think she can do it. I'm confident that she can. I'm not going to let her fail. And she said this program, talking about grad school, is going to be an absolute game changer for her and her son. She's a single mother. She said, "I can't wait till I get one of those 9-to-5 jobs." And I reminded her that 9-to-5 jobs are great, but at 5:01, you put your phone away and your mom. We have to leave it in the office. So she is excited for that. And I'm really glad I had that conversation with her this morning. And she's going to have success. There are a lot of other participants that are like that. And sometimes it's not grad school we're talking about. Sometimes it's GED. And I have participants that are so excited to just accomplish that. And I get reminded that our journey, it starts different, but it always starts somewhere. For some people, it's a bachelor's. For some people, it's a certificate in reading. For some, it's GED, but it all starts somewhere. I get to enjoy the success that my participants have. And it reminds me of when I just completed long-term treatment and, was out there with just several months clean, just, looking at myself in the mirror like, "You're a 2-time college flunky. You'll be lucky just to get accepted into school." But I took the last chance that I had and I made the best of it. And I get to watch my participants do the same. And it's just amazing that I get to share that journey with them.
Thank you, Michael, and really great points of, everyone starts their journey in different places, but our job is to help them get to where they aspire to be in the end, no matter where that is. And thank you so much for that great example of program success from a participant. Does anyone have any questions for Michael at this point? Michael, do you have anything else that you'd like to add before we move on?
Well, there's other things that I'm working on with her that a lot of the other participants take advantage of also, is these supportive services. One, for example, is Legal Aid. They've been an amazing partner since day one. Um, their lawyers have always been accessible. They love to travel. So all we got to do is call them and say, hey, let's do an event. So this particular participant is working on expungement. Um, there are so many things that the participant doesn't know. So many of their rights that they don't know. The expungement process. As agents, we do all we can to educate them on what their rights and benefits are. So Legal Aid's been an amazing partner, and there's so many more out there. So I'm really glad that I was able to hop on this partner call. I don't get a chance to talk to a lot of our partners, but I've enjoyed being on the call. So, but yeah, if anybody has any questions for me, I'll do the best I can.
Thanks, Michael. Anyone have a question for Michael? All right, if not, he provided unscripted a perfect segue to our next slide. Legal Aid of West Virginia, as a partner for Jobs and Hope West Virginia, has a staff attorney that they have on hand to help assist through the expungement process and any other legal issue that they can provide assistance through. So they are hiring the statewide attorney for Legal Aid. Marie was with us for 5-ish years, and she's moved on to another opportunity. And I know that Kate is on here. Kate, would you like to add anything to this segment?
Just wanted to say thank you, Michael, for those nice words about Marie. We were very sorry to lose her. She was a phenomenal job. She really appreciated working with all the transition agents. And so primarily, the most cases and things that she was doing for folks was helping them navigate the expungement process. And as Michael noted, it's pretty complicated to figure out whether you might be eligible for expungement or not. So working with the transition agents and trying to, sort that out for people was something that she really appreciated. And she also did a ton of training on expungement. So if you know of an attorney that is interested in, giving back, helping the community, is good with travel, and doing some outreach, we would love to have a really great attorney. I don't think we'll ever replace a Marie, but we'd like to have somebody with her equal energy and excitement, and that really wants to help people remove barriers to employment. Expungement's the largest, but she also would help people with driver's license issues, sometimes with child support issues, those kinds of things as well that just impact your ability to either keep a job or get a job or stay stable. Posted on our website. I could even put the link in the chat if that would help.
Yeah, that would be great. It's posted on the Legal Aid website. We shared it on the Jobs and Hope website. I believe our Facebook page also has it posted there. So if you'd like to pop that in the chat, that would be great. It will also be available in the meeting recap that we send out to this group. All right, moving on. So the next item on our agenda, I wanted to just give some program updates as far as numbers goes. Our referrals from First Choice Services continue to grow. We started in December of 2020, we had 294. 2021, it dipped a little bit to 177, but we've been increasing every year. December of 2024, we had 321 referrals. And keep in mind, that is just referrals to the website or the hotline. We still receive multiple referrals from Department of Human Services, Workforce West Virginia, Recovery Partners, Catholic Charities, and things like that. But our website and our hotline continue to be the largest way to either refer yourself or direct someone to refer. I wanted to go ahead and report these instead of waiting until the end like I typically do, because I'm trying to be conscious of everyone's time. If someone, I know a couple of you mentioned that you had to hop off a little early. We have currently 1,502 active program participants statewide. In partnership with Legal Aid, we have helped to complete 34 expungements statewide, and we have 8,722 folks have become employed as a result of Jobs and Hope. So remember, I always talk about you have to have a job to get a better job to get career employment. So these might be a job or it might be the job, but 8,720 folks have become employed as a result of actively participating in the Jobs and Hope West Virginia program. And then we have helped 2,529 individuals get their driver's license reinstated. Huge number of driver's license reinstatements for folks. And I see Stephanie have a question.
Yeah, sorry. On the program participants, that's just how many you're working with right now? Or
currently, yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. I wanted to make sure because the other is from beginning till now.
Correct.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for that. All right, and so on to the next slide of success numbers. We have 545 folks that have graduated from our program, and a graduate is defined as eliminating all the barriers they came to us with, providing some type of training or education. They have completed some type of training or education program, and we have helped them with career employment. And they have maintained that career employment for a period of 3 to 6 months. We have captured the average annual participant salary. So those of our participants that are working, this is their average salary, and then a total combined annual salary of $78.9 million. So these folks are tax-paying citizens. They're contributing to their communities. They're going to work every day, and they're trying to sustain their recovery. The number that I always like to report is no longer receiving SNAP benefits. So because they are employed with a livable wage, they no longer need to receive SNAP benefits. So 1,645 individuals have transitioned off of that state benefit, which is a savings of state and federal dollars. And I think the last figure was the average household in West Virginia receives $323 a month in SNAP benefits. So $323 a month times 12 times 1,645, I think is upwards of $5 million in state and federal funding. Any questions on any of those? I want to shift gears just a little bit. In partnership with the West Virginia Schools of Diversion and Transition, we have placed reentry liaisons in state correctional facilities to help with reentry prior to release. This was kind of a missing piece that we were seeing with individuals who are reentering. I think the last stat that I heard was about 90% of individuals that are currently incarcerated in the state of West Virginia will be released. And so we wanted to ensure that their reentry was successful so that they don't recidivate. And so through the Schools of Diversion and Transition, who have the education programs in our state facilities and our regional jails, we have 4 reentry liaisons that work directly with students participating in education programs to connect them with the Jobs and Hope transition agent upon reentry. So what that looks like for these students is they meet regularly with their reentry liaison to help with their reentry plan about 120 days prior to their release. We've been able to do a lot of really great things with a lot of these participants because a lot of them are participating in CTE. They have certifications, whether it's in collision repair or carpentry or HVAC or any of those skills. They have those on their resume. So they work with them to update that resume, to have their certifications so that they're job ready upon release. Those 4 reentry liaisons are actively working with 220 individuals in facilities. They have graduated 316 individuals, and of those 316, 268 have been referred to Jobs and Hope West Virginia. And I'd like to tell you that all of those 268 actively participate in Jobs and Hope and go on to be a graduate of our program, but I don't have those numbers yet because it's a newer program. But I can tell you that we are actively working with a lot of those folks that are referred from the reentry liaisons. One of the cooler projects that we've been able to start in facility with the Schools of Diversion and Transition program, we are able to now test for learner's permit on the DMV website while someone is incarcerated. So we have one facility that's doing it currently in the state, which is Prunytown. And I was told just this afternoon that 2 folks have successfully received their learner's permit while they're incarcerated. There are some requirements for them to be eligible to test. So they have to have an approved home plan and be 6 months or less out from their release date, so that learner's permit is still valid when they return home. And they also have to be eligible, meet DMV requirements to be eligible to test or retest. So if they have any unpaid citations or fines or anything like that, we will actively work with them to get those taken care of so that they can then test and be eligible to take their learner's permit test while in facility. It's been such a huge topic of conversation within our education facilities that we are getting ready to roll it out to 2 more facilities statewide to see how it works in those. So we're really excited about that and happy to share that success with you all. All right, so transition agents have been busy, and Michael would probably tell you that he is a full caseload and he's busy with his participants, but they also are out in the community, representing the program, networking, trying to gain knowledge of all the other resources that are available statewide for their participants. So this is just a list of some of the events that transition agents participated in statewide. 105 events from July to December or September of last year. Huge amount of events. So they're on the road. They're not just sitting behind a desk, doing case management. They're also engaging with community members and other state organizations to make sure we're maximizing the amount of resources that we have to offer our participants. So the next few slides, we're just going to go through. These are some pictures that we have from those types of events. We attended the West Virginia Department of Education Student Support Conference here in Charleston. Our veterans transition agent, in collaboration with one of our Eastern Panhandle transition agents, attended the the homeless stand down event, which was veterans specific. Really great event for John, one of our newer transition agents serving veterans statewide, to attend. Another event, Josh Farmer in Southern West Virginia, one of our staff members, is certified to teach the Peer Recovery Support Service certification courses. So we started offering Jobs and Hope PRSS certification for free to anyone who needed that certification. So this is a picture of him with 13 individuals that completed that training. And I think this was the second class that he completed with those folks. We already mentioned, in partnership with Legal Aid, Ask an Attorney is a really great event in collaboration with them, where they go around statewide and just have the opportunity to ask questions about things that they don't know how to do. How do I modify my child support? What about this custody issue? Am I eligible for expungement? All of those things. We have attorneys available to ask those questions. So it's been a really popular event statewide with our staff. And we have a little bit of fun too. So Region 3 participated in the Boo Bash that was part of the Covenant Houses community event. Really just being present to offer resources for those individuals who were coming for other needs as well. We also had Case West Virginia networking event, and this was in the southern part of the state as well, with Josh and Charlotte. And then we had the Spark Symposium, which was a really great networking event to kind of look into other agencies such as law enforcement and educators, because we all know that substance use is a family disease. So a lot of times we don't think about, the families, the children that might have parents that would benefit from Jobs and Hope West Virginia. So that gave us a good opportunity to network there. I had the opportunity to participate in the West Virginia Manufacturers Association employer panel talking about second chance or fair chance employment in partnership with Michael at Workforce West Virginia and then Jason at Wismet Glass. It's always a great event to attend to remind people that, you know, everyone deserves a fair chance at employment and help to answer any questions about what does that mean for an employer when I'm hiring second chance. Our Northern Panhandle transition agents were able to attend the Health Plans Wellness event. It's always a great event to partner with folks utilizing Medicaid and looking at ways to improve wellness and support pathways to new opportunities. And then we have a all staff training 2 or 3 times a year. We try to get together in person and provide some professional development. This year's topics were compassion fatigue, emotional intelligence. We really wanted to focus on making sure that transition agents were taking care of themselves and their own wellness because this is a hard job supporting people who are in recovery, and we wanted to make sure that they had the skills that they needed to do that. We also participated in PREA training and self-defense training, and we were able to be together for the holidays. So it was a really great training in December with all of our staff. Some upcoming events that we will be attending. All of the days at the Capitol that are on the legislative calendar, we will have a table for all of these listed. Any others that you think would be of benefit for us to attend, or any that you're attending that you want to make sure we know about and we can come by and visit you at your table, please let us know. All right, I've done enough talking, so I'm gonna ask if any of our partners on the call have any updates that you'd like to share with the group. Lori?
This wasn't on our events, but it recently just happened. We were able to participate in the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of West Virginia's Hope Family Drug Summit last week. So that was a day filled with partners and families and individuals sharing information about hope and recovery. And then I was able to moderate a session specifically for support services, and Deb participated in that, as well as staff members from Handle with Care, Healthy Grand Families program in West Virginia, and Health Right, who provides a lot of counseling services for individuals that we're working with. So I wanted to throw that in. That was a good event last week, and it was held at UC.
Thank you for that reminder, Lori. It was a great event. In addition to that panel, I was able to also share my personal journey to recovery and what that means for family members that might have a loved one that are going through similar journey. It's not always easy, but it is possible. So my goal for that session was to provide hope for any family member that was currently struggling. Hard thing to do. It's not always one of my favorite things to do, but I feel like it's a responsibility, and was really privileged that they asked me to do that. So thanks for that reminder, Lori. Michael?
So can you hear me okay? Make sure my microphone didn't go crazy while I was muted. You can hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Hey, so for those that do know about the PROUD program that the state is running for DOJ and DOL, we have First Choice that has finished their first training round for peer mentors for that program. And we would like to possibly set up a meeting to talk about how we can collaborate with Jobs and Hope with those people reentering from the federal facilities, and then what that looks like between our reentry coordinators and our peer mentors. So can we meet sometime? Deb, I'll send you an email and you can look into that maybe.
Yeah, I'd love to do that.
So it'll be
Yeah.
across the entire state, all 55 counties that we're trying to serve. It's not guaranteed because there's only 2 federal facilities that are reentry centers in West Virginia, out in St. Albans and Clarksburg. They could be released anywhere within the state. They tried to get them as close to their release community as possible. So it will impact pretty much every transition agent that you have.
Okay, I think we can use our state facilities as a working model and, go from there. Let's shoot me that email and we'll get something set up.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Hey, Dad, may I make a comment?
Yes. Hi, Errol.
Hey, how are you? Hey,
Good,
I'm
how are
sorry
you?
I'm late. I'm great, thank you. I'm sorry I'm late. I was coming out of another meeting. But hey, I just want to give you a different perspective from where I sit, working in the community and in training law enforcement as well. But so first and foremost, these certificates from Jobs and Hope mean the world to these graduates. And I just want to thank you all, thank you and Lori publicly because of what you did for James Smith about a week ago, presenting that to him. I met with him yesterday. We meet every Monday, just to sit down and break bread. But he spoke about that and what that meant to him. And so and what we have done, he and a couple of other Jobs and Hope graduates have done. We've kind of informally created a network. And when we know folks are coming out of incarceration, we are just kind of informally saying, okay, let's reach out to them. So we'll send them a blast and say, here's our numbers. Let's talk. And they know a lot of these folks personally. And it has been amazing just to let them know, the folks coming out that are newly reentering society know that you got to take your time with transition. And who better to come from than those who have experienced it? And it has been amazing. It has been amazing. So maybe that's something we can look at a little more formally, is creating that network and making sure these folks have some perspective to be able to draw from. But it has been great. And I just want to thank you all because I've said this a million times, but I mean it. It is really cool to engage with folks and understand their needs, but then also be able to refer them to a resource that you know is going to give them help. And it is simply amazing. So thank you all, everyone that's involved. And even with First Choice Services, the gentleman that spoke before me, we're establishing some networks there, but not only are they creating a network, but they're also assisting me in training law enforcement. So I have two justice impact individuals that have reentered society, have continued their education, gotten master's degrees, and are actually teaching emotional intelligence to law enforcement. And it has been a game changer because they actually see what change looks like in terms of law enforcement officers, and has been so helpful. So there's a million things that I could add, but I just want to take a few minutes to say thank you publicly to you all, and we'll continue to engage.
Thank you, Errol. I appreciate that. And thank you for your hard work in making sure that law enforcement has that emotional intelligence background, training. Because of your background, I think you are able to reach them better than I could. So I like the idea of that network that you're talking about on reentry. So let's definitely chat more about that. I know that, we both know personal experience speaks louder than any formal training that you can provide someone. So I think that that is a great idea and will make a huge impact on folks being successful upon reentry. So let's chat about that.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks. Anyone else? Okay. Oh, Mike.
Yeah, thank you. It's not an update. I just wanted to echo what the sentiment that Errol was stating. Just thank you for what you do. And I don't get to make these meetings very often, but it is really it's not very often as a legislator do we get really to see the results of things that we've worked on in the past. But with this program in particular, I run into I run into graduates from time to time in day-to-day life, and it really means a lot when people, talk about this program. They may or may not know that we had anything to do with it in the legislature and, in the, subcommittee process of setting this up. But it's the work that y'all do is so important. And it's, like I said, it's just it's nice to see the results of it at work, and it is working. It's one case where state government is working and working well. But a quick question: you mentioned the number of roughly close to like 5 million in state and federal dollars that are being saved and you're getting people off of SNAP, and that's just one aspect of it. And is that more than or less than your annual budget?
Just a tiny bit less.
Okay, so and that's just part of it. So it's obviously it's a program that more than pays for itself, in my opinion. So I just wanted to thank you. Thanks.
Thank you so much for that comment. And yes, I'm amazed daily, how well this program works. I think that, I said it in the beginning, I wish there would have been a program like this for me when I needed it. And so now I get to be a part of something that works so well, that's so much bigger than myself and anything I think any of us could have imagined. So I thank you to this group and Lori and the legislature for trusting me to have a small part in it. But it is working. It's working well. And I hope that we can continue this work together to impact the lives of West Virginians that need us. So if we don't have any other partner updates, we'll go ahead and post the dates for our next meeting. Again, if you know of anyone else that needs to be added to this update list or wants to be added to the email list, send that information to Matthew. It's k12.wv.k12.edu. He will send you the partner meeting update along with this recording. But thank you all for your time today. Thank you for everything that you do to contribute to the shared success of our program participants statewide. And have a great rest of your week.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you,
Take
guys.
care.
Thank you, Deb.
Thanks.